in a galaxy far, far away, all universe modes are created equal. But here on YouTube.com, this is the best damn universe mode. And tonight we're going over the state of the best damn universe. We're going to go over championship rankings, new signings, rivalries, upcoming pay-per-views, questions, comments, concerns, anything you're thinking of. But we're also going to have highlights of our last pay-per-views, and we're going to start off with EC freaking W and WrestlePalooza. It is official. Paul Heyman has signed Kenny Omega. The hottest free agent is now part of ECW. Let me officially welcome all of you to the state of the best damn universe mode address. And unlike those other addresses, we're not here to talk about the economy, taxes, border security, gun control, international affairs, or the affairs of any Kardashians or any other celebrities. As important as all those issues are, we're here to talk about the best damn universe mode. And you know what? I've gone back and forth a few times on this. How should I approach this address? How should I approach this review? Should I go all kayfabe on there? Should I just, go mean Gene on you and just go ham on it and give you the rankings and ratings? But you know what? I just want to do what I've always done, man, from the beginning. And just be genuine, just be real, sit here, have a little fun, chat with you guys, take some comments, some feedback, some suggestions. I love all that. Just not be overly edited. So we're going to just do this on one take, and we're going to get into it, man. So first, I wanted to thank you guys, thank all of you who are subscribers. If you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and smash the hell out of the notifications bell to stay on top of everything going on here on the best damn universe mode. Now we're going to go on, as I mentioned in the beginning briefly, we're going to go over the where the universe mode is at, where we're going as we transition, or we are transitioning into WWE 2K19, which we already had a couple of shows under it. And we're going to go over the championship rankings, some new signings. You're going to like the divisions. Divisions have been a little bit restructured. Not so much, but we've added in a couple guys. New signings for all three brands. We're going to go over some rivalries, some upcoming pay-per-views. And as we just saw, we're going to see highlights of the previous pay-per-views and all the action's been going on here on the best damn universe mode. Now, first we saw ECW WrestlePalooza, man. And what a freaking show that was. It was fun as hell to put that show together, and it was even more fun and entertaining to call the show and watch it again. And all of you who watched it with me on the premiere, I thank you all, man. I thank all of you guys for watching it, for hitting that like button, for sharing it, for commenting. Just I really love the support, man. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't think I would have. I didn't promote it for a long time, so I didn't think a lot of people would be there. But we got a nice little turnout, man. I got a nice turnout. I'm very proud of that show. Probably the best pay-per-view that I have done so far here in the best damn universe mode. And, well, I can't take all the credit, man. I'm thanking everybody. I want to thank a special person, J&W Boss, who, well, first of all, he has his own channel here as well, and the link to that channel will be in the description. Best Call Universe Mode on YouTube.com by far. And I help J&W call AOR Wrestling. He has AOA and AOR Wrestling, which is the minor leagues of AOA, but two tremendous shows with a lot of action. And I want to thank him because he's a big part of ECW. He's my partner in crime on the commentary booth. But not only that, he's very, very influential, and he's part of the booking committee, not only in ECW, but believe it or not, for most of the brands. And he's got a great mind for this business, man, a great mind for wrestling, and he loves what he does as well. And that's what I like to do, man. I like to associate myself with people who love this. I'm doing it for fun. I'm doing it because I love wrestling. I love video games. I love being, most important of all, and I've said this before, I just love being creative. And right now I'm not in a field, in a job that I can be very creative. So this allows me to get those creative juices out there and just have fun, man. Again, just have fun. That's what it's about. Life is already, we have a lot of struggles, all the other issues that I was talking about at the beginning. I may light up, but they're not. The economy, taxes, security, gun control, all that. Those are all very important issues. But we got to have some fun, man. You got to have some fun with life. We only have one, so let's live it, man. And well, let me get off my little soapbox there for a minute. We're going to start off. So again, thank you, J&W Boss, man. I'll be seeing you soon in ECW Friday Night Fights, a follow-up to ECW WrestlePalooza. If you haven't caught WrestlePalooza, go back right now. Just stop this. Go back, catch that pay-per-view, and then come back and watch this because it was unbelievable. So there's going to be spoilers here. So go back and watch it if you don't want to get it spoiled. You've been forewarned. Ready? Okay, cool. So we'll continue now. So ECW WrestlePalooza, man, was our last pay-per-view. We're going to get into, I'm going to review, like I said, the rankings, new signings, and everything. Let's start off with the hottest brand right now, EC/W. Paul Heyman has been kicking ass with ECW ever since he dismantled, destroyed, murdered NXT. And the rebirth, rebranding of ECW as Brock Lesnar as their ECW heavyweight champion of the world has been a tremendous success from the beginning, man. They've passed Raw. Raw was leading in the early on in the Universe mode. I think Raw was ahead in the ratings, but ECW, man, as soon as they came in, they went flying, and they have been leading in the ratings war, getting more views, more likes, more comments on the videos. Even though Raw hasn't, we'll talk about Raw's war in WWE, but they have been biting at the toes of ECW lately, the last couple shows after the King of the Ring, but we'll get into that. Let's stick with ECW, and here we see the calendar. You see ECW there, WrestlePalooza, we just had it, so we got 2 more weeks left in June. And the rivalries right now on ECW, man, we see the big rivalry right now, big feud going on between, that's been going on for a little bit here. The Bullet Club, or they call themselves now the Elite, Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks, and then the Undisputed Era with Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. And these 6 men have engaged in a tremendous war, an awesome impromptu tables battle. They went on a 6-man tag team action. Adam Cole has faced Cody Rhodes one-on-one, first round of the ECW television title. And lately, after Undisputed Era maybe got that first laugh, in that first battle, when that impromptu tables match. But after that, it has been all Bullet Club, the Elite, and in WrestlePalooza, well, Cody Rhodes wasn't able to capture the television title, but he's defeated Adam Cole. They've won in 6-man action, and the Young Bucks defeated Undisputed Era in that TLC match at WrestlePalooza. So what's going to happen there in the future, man? We don't know. Maybe a little dissension we've heard between Undisputed Era, especially Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. The losing has got to be getting to Adam Cole. Yeah, Michael Cole wishes he was Adam Cole, right? Adam Cole, all the losing has got to get to Adam Cole, man. He's been leaving, though he probably stole the show at ECW WrestlePalooza. He's been putting on some tremendous matches, man. He had a tremendous match against Cody Rhodes, gave it all he's got. Great performance in the 6-man match. And, like I said, stole the show in ECW, but he wants to get back on that winning streak, and they want to bring gold to Undisputed Era. So we're going to see how that's happening. There were some miscues between Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly during their TLC match. So we're going to see. We're going to see what goes on with them there. And, of course, speaking of stealing the show, I mean, Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe might have something else to say about that. Adam Cole and Kenny Omega from their match at WrestlePalooza. I mean, if that was a great match between Adam Cole and Kenny Omega, Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe was a freaking war. It was what ECW is all about, man. There was blood, there was great wrestling, there was hard hitting outside, inside the ring. It was unbelievable. A little bit of controversy from that match as well. J&W Boss has spoken about it during the episode, and we kind of disagreed on that a little bit, I would say. But Paul Heyman walking out with Brock Lesnar during that match, and maybe, well, getting in the face of Samoa Joe a little bit. And what does the future hold there, man? Some of the boys might not be happy. That's kind of favoritism, but they already knew that, man. Brock Lesnar is his boy. Is he just out there looking out for his main investment, for his main attraction, per se? Or is Paul Heyman really playing favorites? And I mean, who knows? Hey, he gave Samoa Joe a shot at the title. He gave him a shot at the title. He's given Killian Dane shots. But another thing also, we got CM Punk now, and you'll see as the television champion. So that's another wrinkle to this story. What's going to happen there? Again, the boys are going to look in. Man, you got both your guys as champions. We don't know. Anyway, let me stop blabbing here. Let's go into the rankings and the title divisions here of ECW. And here he is, the World Heavyweight Champion is Brock Lesnar. Well, he won it at NXT TakeOver The End when they united NXT. When Paul Heyman bought out, I guess NXT destroyed it, Brock Lesnar had a big part of that, man. Sent Bobby Roode through a table, basically trying to murder Bobby Roode, and he murdered NXT, unifying those titles. He became the NXT and ECW World Champion, which now is just the ECW World Heavyweight Champion. Let's take a look at the rankings here. And here we go, the rankings. You see Samoa Joe still at number 1, the performance that he gave. I mean, currently we're just getting out of WrestlePalooza. So for now, yeah, Samoa Joe, the number 1 contender. He had his shot. It's going to be interesting to see what happened. Who's going to step up now as the new number 1 contender for Brock Lesnar's title? Or will Samoa Joe get another crack at it? Let me know what you guys think. Do you want to see another Joe versus Lesnar match? I mean, these guys tore the house down. So it will be very interesting to see. Number 2, look at this. Aleister Black, man. He's moved up the rankings after trading victories with RVD back and forth and being eliminated from the ECW television title tournament by RVD. He's actually come back now. Big wins over Killian Dane on ECW Friday Night Fights, cleanly pinning him in the middle of the ring. And then a big-time victory over Eric Young at WrestlePalooza. So Aleister Black has moved up the ranks quickly here, and he is the number 2 man. At number 3, we have the man that some say stole the show. And as we heard earlier, the breaking news, he is officially part of ECW. He is ranked number 3 in the ECW World Heavyweight Championship division here. Following Kenny Omega is Eric Young at number 4, Killian Dane at number 5. Both men have had shots at Brock Lesnar. Eric Young had a title shot against Brock Lesnar. Both men have failed. And now we get to the new signings here in ECW. I told you we're going to have new signings here for each brand, and the world title picture looking strong, man. If we thought we had some beef before with Killian Dane, Samoa Joe, and Brock Lesnar, look at this. Psycho Sid, Vader, and Lars Sullivan. That is more meat than you can get at a damn buffet, man. Freaking believable here. ECW World Heavyweight Championship division is going to be on fire moving forward, man. And well, we go over now to the ECW World Television Championship division, and here you see it, your first ever ECW TV champ here on the Best Damn Universe mode, and it's none other than CM Punk. Paul Heyman's boy, man. He got him via the trade. And well, CM Punk, he had to earn it though. This wasn't just given to him. He beat Taz, formidable opponent, in the first round of the tournament. And then, well, he went on to dispose of another ECW original, Shane Douglas, embarrassing him. That's another story. I'm sure he's out on the beach somewhere, or J&W Boss is probably rubbing some oil on him somewhere in Miami Beach here. Anyway, CM Punk is now the ECW World Heavyweight Champion. He defeated Cody Rhodes, Bam Bam Bigelow, and RVD, Fatal 4-Way Elimination, Extreme Rules at WrestlePalooza. Let's take a look at the rankings behind him. And there we see it, the top contenders. Remember, this is right after WrestlePalooza, so there hasn't been any action after WrestlePalooza. Cody Rhodes, who's been on a winning streak before losing to CM Punk in the finals there, the ECW Television Championship Tournament in that Fatal 4, where he was the last man standing against CM Punk in that elimination match. So Cody Rhodes ranked number 1 right now. Number 2, we got Bam Bam Bigelow. At number 3, we have Rob Van Dam. And then number 4, well, those are the 3 men that were along with CM Punk in the finals of the tournament. So they're the top 3 contenders there. And then we have Adam Cole at number 4. A little controversial here, even though he's been on somewhat of a losing streak. But Adam Cole, I mean, has looked very, very impressive in a lot of those losses, and he stole the show with Kenny Omega. So can he continue to move up that ladder? Now, he's pretty much in the middle of this division. Can he move up that ladder and maybe get a shot at CM Punk? We're going to see what the future holds again for Undisputed Era. Number 5, we got Taz. No shame in losing to CM Punk in the first round. He's up there. Ty Dillinger at number 6. Ty Dillinger almost pulled off a monumental upset last week's Friday Night Fights against Samoa Joe. That was unfreaking believable, man. He hit him with that tiebreaker knee 2 times. We thought he had him, and he came within a cunt's hair of beating Samoa Joe. It was awesome, man. So Ty Dillinger, I mean, he's had some wins before that when he was in NXT. He was involved in some of the tournaments. So Ty Dillinger at number 6 now, maybe looking to climb up himself. He's going to have to battle there with Taz and the likes of Adam Cole to try to get up to the upper echelons. And we talk about new signings. It's official as well. Kenny Omega's here in the Bullet Club. What about Marty Scurll? Marty Scurll officially in, and he's officially in the ECW television division here. Marty Scurll, we saw a brief of Marty Scurll, the villain, at WrestlePalooza. Totally played Adam Cole for a fool, went out of the ring, kissed him goodbye, and out came Kenny Omega. The rest is history. Go back and watch it. Anyway, rounding it off at number 8, another new signing here to ECW EC3. Paul Heyman has the money, man. He's got the financial backing. This was something he was missing before with ECW, and that's why I think now it's been so successful. He's able to sign all the top talent that wants to stay with him, that agrees with his vision of what professional wrestling should be. And so Paul Heyman, he has an anonymous financial backer. We don't know who it is. And personally, you know what? I don't care, man. As long as we keep getting the action that we're getting in ECW. Leave it in the comments. Let me know. Who do you think is Paul Heyman's secret anonymous financial backer? Anyway, he signed the top 1%, EC3. How's he going to fare in ECW? We're going to find out. And here we go. Now we switch over to the ECW Tag Team Championship Division. Your champions, there they are, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, part of the Elite, the Bullet Club. They have looked awesome recently, man, in 6-man action, and they've taken out the competitor, taken out Sanity. They beat the Revival to win these titles in the tournament back in NXT, and now they defeated the Undisputed Era in an awesome TLC match at WrestlePalooza. How long could they hold on to the belts? We're going to find out, man. Let's take a look at who's behind them here in the rankings. And here we go. Number 1 contenders right now after WrestlePalooza, and that spot is the Authors of Pain. Now let me tell you, they're not officially number 1 contender. Nobody's getting a title shot yet, but according to what's been going on, I mean, the Authors of Pain are looking very good. And after Undisputed Era, of course, lost their chance, they've slipped to number 2. But the Authors of Pain, big win over the Dudley Boys, who have slid down to the number 3 slot. Well, they could have swapped, man. If they could have been the Authors of Pain, and they thought they were, and the Authors of Pain, a huge victory. A little bit shocking, maybe, to a lot of people who know what the Dudleys are about, but the Authors of Pain are no joke, man, and the Young Bucks Championship might be in trouble if they have to face off against the Authors of Pain. So again, Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish, O'Reilly are at number 2. The Dudley Boys have slipped to number 3. And we got the Revival sitting there at number 4. We haven't seen the Revival in a while after they lost that Tag Team Championship Finals to the Young Bucks. But the Revival's very formidable opponents, and they're looking to climb up and get another title shot at the Young Bucks. Number 5, we got TM61, who were beat up by the Dudley Boys, but not as bad as the Ascension, who's at number 6. That's why TM61 is at number 5. And then we have at number 7, Breezango, Tyler Breeze and Fandango, Breezango at number 7. We haven't seen them in a while as well since the tournament. And at number 8, we said it, new signings. How about these guys, man? War. The War Raiders, baby, in ECW. Man, that just... I'm looking at this tag team title division, man. You got the War Raiders. Did I say the Road Warriors? Never mind. The War Raiders, along with the Revival, along with the Dudleys, the Authors of Pain, Undisputed Era, and all those guys challenging the Young Bucks, who some have called the best tag team in the world today. Awesome tag team division, man. Awesome. Can't wait to see what happens on Friday Night Fights. Let's move on. So here we go. Last but not least, Asuka, the ECW World Women's Champion, man. And she won this title back when she beat Awesome Kong in the finals of the NXT Women's Championship. Of course, it was transitioned into the ECW Women's Championship. She ever since then has defeated Nia Jax, who was the number 1 contender. Had to and got a shot at Asuka, man, and she took her to the limits. But Asuka, big win on Friday Night Fights. They main evented one of our Friday Night Fights episode. And right now, Asuka, though, sitting here waiting for a new number one contender. Let's take a look at the rankings and talk a little bit more about that. So here we go. Here are the rankings, man, and it's a mess up there at the top. Mickie James and Lita were fighting officially for the number one contender spot at WrestlePalooza. Out of nowhere comes Awesome Kongs, beats the living shit out of both of them, and now is claiming that she should be the number one contender. I'm not going to tell her anything. Paul Heyman is probably scared of Awesome Kong as well, but the truth is she has been cleared from the concussion protocol. She's been officially cleared of the concussion protocol. She says she's back to reclaim or to claim what is rightfully hers. She thinks Asuka stole it. I mean, Asuka, we know she hit her over the head really hard a few times with that sledgehammer, and that's how she got that victory in that Falls Count Anywhere match during NXT TakeOver. And we have not seen Awesome Kong ever since, actually, in one-on-one action. We did see her come back, embarrass herself against Mickie James, not being ready to go, but she was officially cleared and made her presence known at WrestlePalooza. So Awesome Kong, we got Mickie James and Lita all fighting for that top spot. We don't know what's going to happen, but Paul Heyman said that Asuka needs to defend that championship soon. So we're going to get an answer, man. Who's it going to be? Who's going to challenge Asuka? Number 4, Nia Jax. She was the former number one contender, like we said. Then we got number 5, Ruby Riott. And Ruby Riott has looked surprisingly well. She looked good. Not surprisingly, I mean, Ruby is a great athlete, but she's looked well against Lita and Mickie James in one-on-one competition the last several weeks. However, she was not able to pull off the victory, so she's sitting there at number 5. More new signees for ECW. Paul Heyman beefing up. He beefed up that men's division, as we saw, that world title division. Well, he's beefed up the women's division too, man, with Sarah Logan, Liv Morgan. They're joining Ruby Riott, the Riot Squad, ready to run wild here in ECW. And last but not least, look who else he signed, Miss Shayna Baszler. What a match that would be, man. Shayna Baszler, Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Awesome Kong. Some interesting matches here, man, and more signees and more people to come here in ECW. Let's wrap this all up and take a quick look at the Power Rankings in ECW. And here we go. We are here at the Power Rankings. This is going to be for ECW. And before we get into it, just wanted to, well, explain, I guess, why I haven't used the Power Guard. I tried to use the Power Rankings in WWE 2K19, I believe. I don't think there was a 17, but I used it one time on one of these addresses or review shows. And I just didn't want to, I don't want to go back to it, man, because the AI kind of messed it up all the time. And when you are using universe mode, and I mean, manually I could fix it, but it takes too much work every damn time I go into it. I mean, I already spend enough time editing these shows and trying to get the best content out there for the best damn universe mode. But I don't know, in 2K19 we're going to give it a try. As you can see here, we have all 3 brands separated. So the Power Rankings now this year are separated within each brand. So we can have a top 10, a top 25, which is what I'm going to do now. And let me know what you guys think, if you want to see it, if you disagree with anything, if you want to give feedback on who you want to see in the top 25, what your top 25 are, or your top 10, or how you would divide it up. You know, would you just do the men's? Would you just do the women's? Would you just do the tag teams? Maybe I could do of each, but I mean, that would already be the rankings anyway, so that'll be a little redundant. Anyways, we're going to do this for the sake of this address and to go over the Power Rankings here. So let's start with ECW, and so we can get on with the rest of this address here. And here we go, ECW, man, the top 25. Number 1, of course, the World Heavyweight Champion Brock Lesnar. At number 2, we have the new ECW Television Champion CM Punk. Number 3, despite the loss, he looked awesome, man, like we said at WrestlePalooza. Samoa Joe at number 3 here in the Power Rankings. Number 4 and 5, rounding out the top 5, are the Young Bucks, the ECW World Tag Team Champions. Number 6, look at Aleister Black climbing the ranks, man, with 2 big wins. Huge win over 2 top contenders for the world title, and Eric Young and Aleister Black. So there you see, Eric Young and Killian Dane. So Aleister Black is there at number 6. Number 7, we have the ECW Women's Champion, Asuka. Number 8, we got Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, still in the top 10 here, despite losing to CM Punk. He was right at the end, right there at the cusp of becoming television champion, currently the #1 contender for that title. Bam Bam Bigelow also competed in that. He's number 9. Number 10, Akam. 11, Razor. The Authors of Pain have skyrocketed up with a huge win over your favorite tag team, J&W boss, the Bushwhackers. And then they actually, on a serious note, they beat up in a big win over the Dudleys at ECW WrestlePalooza. Number 12, we got Mickie James. 13, Lita, the 2 women battling at WrestlePalooza for the #1 spot, #1 contender spot for the ECW Women's Championship. At number 14, we have Awesome Kong. So those 3 women there battling. Who's going to be the #1 contender? At number 15, the new arrival of Kenny Omega here in ECW, and he made a tremendous splash, stealing the show along Adam Cole. Kenny Omega, big win there to start off his ECW career. What's in the future for him, we will see, but he's at number 15 right now. Eric Young, 16, Killian Dane, 17, former top contenders for the world title. They're still up there, but they got to climb back up, man. Couple losses to Aleister Black, and Killian Dane's been kind of he has been on a losing streak, even though he's looked impressive. So we've talked about that before in the episodes. Let's see what happens with Sanity there, man. A lot of tension, let's say, between Sanity. Pretty soon they might be called Chaos if these guys implode. That should be interesting to see. Number 18, Rob Van Dam, the whole freaking show. One of the, I would say, the top ECW original here. Some of the other ECW originals have not been treated very well here on the Best Damn Universe mode. We've kind of buried Shane Douglas. We've had Tommy Dreamer, Raven, and Sandman on the show, but they haven't played a big role yet. So let me know about that, guys. What do you want to see from the ECW originals again? Should be interesting moving forward. I mean, this is a brand new ECW. We have a lot of stars like Aleister Black, the future of it, CM Punk, the top dog now, Brock Lesnar. So let me know a little more about that, man. We'll have more on that later. Let's get through these power rankings. Number 19, Adam Cole, man. You know he wants to be rated higher. So does Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, the Undisputed Era, 19, 20, and 21. Talk about a losing streak. They've been on a recent losing streak, losing to Bullet Club on 6-man action for the tag team titles in the TV title tournament. So these guys have a lot to prove. And we talk about dissension in the ranks with Sanity. Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish didn't look at times that they were on the same page in that TLC match. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens moving forward. Number 22 and 23, we have Bubba Ray Dudley and Devon Dudley, the Dudley Boys, coming back home with a splash. 2 big wins in a row, but a big loss to AOP on the big stage of WrestlePalooza has moved them down the rankings, although they're still in the top 25. Speaking of top 25, we finish it off with Taz, who is at number 24, another ECW original. And number 25, we have Nia Jax. And as we see right there, man, Ty Dillinger on the outside looking in with that impressive outing against Samoa Joe and a couple of early wins in NXT, man. But he's on the cusp of breaking this top 25. So let's see if he gets opportunities here from Paul Heyman to do just that. So there you go. That is your ECW Power Rankings. And again, well, we'll take a look at the Power Rankings of WWE and WCW. Speaking of WWE, that's up next on the agenda now. So now we switch over to WWE Raw is War, and let's take a special look at the King of the Ring. Oh, well, there you go. What highlights from WWE King of the Ring. We're back here in the calendar settings. Taking a look here, the next pay-per-view coming up for WWE is going to be Money in the Bank. We've already had a few qualifying matches. But first, man, a little bit more about King of the Ring. It was an awesome event. We talked about WrestlePalooza being awesome. Maybe my best pay-per-view to date. But King of the Ring, if it's not up there with WrestlePalooza, it's at number 2 of the best pay-per-views, I would say. It was a tremendous event. And, I mean, a great main event, great finals of the King of the Ring tournament between The Rock and Dusty Rhodes. And then, as you see the rivalries there, The Undertaker and Roman Reigns. And things got pretty nasty out there. Both men bleeding all over the place in that match. Like I said many times during that, it turned into an episode of Game of Thrones with the violence and the blood in King of the Ring. And it finished appropriately. But not to the liking of many of the fans in attendance and many of you guys at home, Roman Reigns, with the help of the Usos, walked away with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Like it or not, though, man, after King of the Ring, the ratings for Raw have bumped up, and Raw is right there neck and neck with ECW right after King of the Ring. I still put ECW a little bit ahead because they've been leading in the ratings war as soon as they made their rebirth. The reintroduction of ECW, but WWE right after King of the Ring, man, has been looking awesome. And now with the qualifying matches and that big time match we had on the last episode of Raw is War in the main event qualifying match between John Cena and the glorious Bobby Roode. And Bobby Roode is a made man. What an out of body experience we had during that match. It was a divine intervention for Bobby Roode, man. He was beyond glorious in that match. If you haven't seen it, go check that out again. And again, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, subscribe, please. Hit the like button and hit that bell for notifications. So here we go, man. That's the top rivalries right here as we see heading into Money in the Bank. The Undertaker and Roman Reigns will battle in a steel cage this time to keep the Usos out, keep anybody out. It's going to be inside a 15-foot high steel cage as Roman Reigns defends the WWE Championship against The Undertaker. We see other rivalries there. Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton, man, has heated up over the last several weeks. These guys heading into King of the Ring. Drew McIntyre made his debut, made his way over to WWE in that big three-brand trade. And Drew McIntyre, like Bobby Roode, man, has made a big splash in WWE. He's defeated Randy Orton in a one-on-one match that caught him off guard, beat him in a few seconds on Raw is War. They had their rematch at King of the Ring. Drew McIntyre won again. Randy Orton viciously attacked him, as you saw in the highlights after the match. And, well, that set up their third encounter. There was a Money in the Bank qualifying match, and both men were counted out. They went outside the ring to start brawling all over the place, man, and got counted out. None of them qualified for Money in the Bank. But a little spoiler here, or yeah, a little breaking news, man. I don't think I have advertised it yet, but these two guys will be at Money in the Bank, and it will be this time a 2 out of 3 falls match. So Randy Orton with a chance at redemption, and Drew McIntyre with another chance to prove himself. If he could get another big win against a Viper, man, that's going to propel him in the rankings. And speaking of rankings, there's the 2 top contenders, Chyna and Charlotte, for the WWE Women's Championship, currently being held by Trish Stratus. And those 3 women will battle to settle the score. We're going to have 1 champion, 1 winner, 3 women at Money in the Bank. Triple threat match for the WWE Women's Heavyweight Championship. And it's going to be Charlotte, Chyna, and Trish Stratus. Sorry, let me get a little water here. Remember, this is live, 1 take. Okay, so there you go, man. That's a WWE side forward. Let's take a look now at the title rankings here and the new signees for WWE. Let's go. And here we go. To top out the rankings, man, we start with the World Heavyweight Championship. And your champion, as we talked about it, Roman Reigns, winning it from The Undertaker at the King of the Ring. And there he is. Let's take a look at the contenders behind Roman Reigns. And here we go. Here's the championship rankings here for WWE's World Heavyweight Championship. Number 1 contender, of course, The Undertaker, who will face Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank. At number 2, we have the People's Champion and now the People's King, The Rock. Number 2, man, after winning that big King of the Ring tournament. Number 3, the first WWE World Heavyweight Champion here in the Best Damn Universe mode, Seth Rollins. Number 4, the glorious Bobby Roode. I talked about it, his tremendous match with John Cena, the way he beat the hell out of John Cena there at the end of that match, man. The way how he lasted, I want to say beat the hell out of him, but both these guys beat the hell out of each other in that match. But he just, some divine intervention, man. Bobby Roode, go back and check it out. He kicked out of like 500 AAs. I don't think John Cena will ever be the same after that match. It's going to be interesting moving forward what happens there. But Bobby Roode, number 4, man, climbing up the ranks after that trade here to WWE. He's looked very impressive. Number 5, the game, Triple H. And we saw his attack on The Rock, man. He didn't take kindly to The Rock being the king of the ring. Triple H thinks he is the only and true king of kings here in WWE. We're going to see what happens with that. He's not number 5. Number 6, John Cena, man. How the mighty have fallen. Losses to Roman Reigns. And, well, that big loss to Bobby Roode. Was not able to qualify for Money in the Bank. What's going to happen with John Cena? And then at number 7, we got Chris Jericho, who came over via trade. We saw him one time against Bobby Roode. He failed to qualify, for the King of the Ring against Bobby Roode. Capture that last slot. We have not seen him since, but I think he's going to be involved in some Money in the Bank qualifying matches coming up very soon. Probably the next episode of Raw. So let's see if Jericho could turn things around. And we talked about big signings up with ECW, Paul Heyman. What about WWE? Vince McMahon able to secure Okada, baby. One of the best. We talked about Kenny Omega being the best free agent out there. I mean, Okada is right there behind him. One of the longest reigning IWGP heavyweight champions of all time. And one of the best wrestlers, not the best Japanese wrestler, is now here in WWE. And I can't wait for his debut on Raw. How is he going to fit in with these guys? How is he going to compete, man? Imagine the likes of Okada competing against John Cena, Triple H, the likes of Bobby Roode, The Rock, or competing against Roman Reigns for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. What a signing by Vince McMahon there to counter some of the top moves by Paul Heyman. So, big time there, man. That's your WWE World Heavyweight Championship rankings. Let's move forward here. Okay, here we go. Up next, the Intercontinental Championship rankings. And your champion, still Bret the Hitman Hart. A lot of us haven't liked the way he's been keeping the title lately against the Ultimate Warrior, getting disqualified at the King of the Ring, and then taking advantage of a Sting interference in that match, or distraction, because he didn't physically interfere in that match. But either way, by hook or by crook, Bret the Hitman Hart is still your Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion of the world. And let's see who is of the world. I'm an idiot. The Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. How about that? Anyway, let's take a look at the men behind Bret the Hitman Hart right here, man. And here we go. It's the champion, Bret the Hitman Hart. Number 1 contender right now, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, man. Dusty Rhodes was in the finals of the King of the Ring. Was so close to winning that King of the Ring tournament. He's also pinned Bret the Hitman Hart in 6-man action several weeks ago. And, well, with the Ultimate Warrior getting shot after shot after shot, and couldn't get it done. I mean, not a lot of it wasn't his fault. He got this, Bret Hart, like I said, got disqualified, Sting's distraction. But either way, the Ultimate Warrior has moved to number 2 now in the rankings. Number 3, Drew McIntyre. As I've said, man, looked very impressive, defeating Randy Orton on 2 separate occasions, and those are big, man, big wins enough to get you back, to get you up to that number 3 slot. Number 4, we got Dean Ambrose, who's been on a roll recently against the Heenan family and has qualified along with Seth Rollins for Money in the Bank, defeating against the Heenan family, man, ravishing Rick Rude and Mr. Perfect. Number 5, we got Sting, and Sting, man, big. We're gonna have a little more on Sting later on when I take a look at the power rankings there. But Sting, man, a new attitude, and just, well, getting in the face of the Ultimate Warrior, distracting him, and not only that, but then viciously beating the Ultimate Warrior. Anyway, let's get back to him. At number 6, Kevin Owens, who's been hanging around them and he qualified for the King of the Ring, but lost in the first round. And now he's going to be in an upcoming Money in the Bank qualifying match. Will he be able to get into that and maybe move up the rankings, or better yet, secure Money in the Bank and become world champion? Number 7, Randy Orton, who's been losing to Drew McIntyre, and he hopes to turn things around. Like I said, he will face Drew McIntyre at Money in the Bank, 2 out of 3 falls. So let's see what's going to happen there with those guys. That could be a swap there. If Randy Orton pulls off a victory, we're going to see him climb up, and of course Drew McIntyre slide back down. At number 8, just recently introduced Rikishi, who came in, man, and lost to The Rock, well, via disqualification. He looked impressive, though, against The Rock, taking it to him, and then left him in a bloody mess in the middle of that ring, man, sending a big-time message. And we still don't know, man, what this beef is about. Is Rikishi, well, he's definitely part of the Roman Empire. He came out with the damn Shield attire and the old Shield attire, and Roman Reigns, and he praised Roman Reigns as being the savior of his people or something, praised him as the world champion. Anyway, he's got beef with The Rock, man, and that's not going to be the last we see of that, but Rikishi is in the Intercontinental title picture here, so let's see if he could climb up and get some victories. Anyway, there you have the Intercontinental Heavyweight Wrestling Championship division. Let's move on. And there you see him, the WWE Tag Team Champions, The New Day, baby! Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, and that's the deal. I mean, of course, we have Big E as well, but that's the duo that won it back from Demolition, man. Kofi and Xavier Woods, what a feud they've had with Demolition. What is in the future of the Tag Team Champions, though? Let's take a look at the rankings. And here we go. Tag Team Champions, as we saw, the New Day. And we don't have a clear-cut number 1 contender now, but remember, this is after King of the Ring and after Raw, where Demolition just lost the tag team titles right back to Kofi Kingston. Of course, we know this is no automatic rematches here anymore, and I had that before they had that in real life, so thanks for copying my idea, guys. Anyway, yeah, no automatic rematches, so we don't know if Demolition's going to get another title shot. They're going to have to fight for it, but they're up there right now. Former tag team champions at number 1. Number 2, we got the Usos, who made a big splash in beating up The Undertaker. And, well, this coming Raw, it's going to be the Usos challenged by The Undertaker and a tag team partner of his choosing. I wonder who that's going to be. Anyway, number 3, we got the Hart Foundation, Owen Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart. As we know, Bret Hart is also a part of that, but he's the Intercontinental Champion right now. Number 4, the British Bulldogs. And at number 5, very interesting team here, the J-Dogg Nation just made their debut at King of the Ring, had a big win against Enzo and Cass, defeated them again the following night on Raw is War. Or sorry, following 2 nights is on Tuesday night. The following Raw is War, they defeated Enzo and Cass, and they take him great credit, them and the J-Dogg, and that they've ran out those 2 clowns, Enzo and Cass, out of WWE. As you see, they're not here in the rankings. And also missing is Kerry and Kevin Von Erich, who has taken their ball after losing to Thunder and Lightning. Coincidence that both these teams quit after that? Or are they just that scared of Thunder and Lightning anyway? Thunder and Lightning would like to think that it's them running them out, but Enzo and Cass no longer here, and Kerry and Kevin Von Erich also lost to Thunder and Lightning on Raw is War, are out of the tag team division, are out of WWE. Looks like they went back home to Texas, and are we going to see him anytime soon? I have no idea. We'll see what happens with the Texas Tornado and his brother with no shoes. Anyway, number 6, we got Edge and Christian. We have not seen him yet here in the Best Damn Universe mode, but they are there. And talk about new signees, man. We got Heavy Machinery and the Street Profits, 2 new teams here in WWE. So Vince McMahon, we talk about beefing up the divisions again. Paul Heyman has done it, and now Vince McMahon, man, with Okada, and now here with the Street Profits and Heavy Machinery beefing up the tag team division. On fire, man. Let's continue here. Let's go to the women's now. And here we go, the WWE Women's Championship division. Your champion, Trish Stratus. And she won it in a big-time match at Extreme Rules. If you haven't seen that, shame on you, damn it. Go back, watch Extreme Rules, and especially for that match. That was one hell, a last women's standing match. Trish Stratus took it, gave everything she had. So much heart shown in that match to defeat Chyna. It was a tremendous effort by Trish Stratus, and that's what made her the women's champion. Man, let's take a look at the rankings now. Let's move on with this. And here we go. Now, last but not least, the WWE Women's Championship rankings. As you saw, Trish Stratus the champion. And number one contender, well, actually, the two number one contenders are Chyna and Charlotte, as they have both, they will both battle Trish Stratus at Money in the Bank for the WWE Women's Championship in a triple threat match. Those two women have been going at it, and Chyna and Charlotte had a tremendous street fight the week before King of the Ring. And, well, Charlotte has recently got a count-out victory over Trish. Trish beat her by count-out at King of the Ring. Nobody's pinned anybody there, man. And Trish won against Chyna, but remember, it was the last woman standing. So, what will give? Who's going to get that pinfall at Money in the Bank and be the WWE Women's Champion? We will find out. Number 3, we got Beth Phoenix, who just made her debut look pretty damn impressive. Then she fought Nikki Bella. And speaking of the Bellas, they are out here too as well, man. They have taken their ball and gone home. They're doing something else. They're involved in their businesses or making babies, whatever the hell they're doing now. But they are no longer going to be part of the Best Damn Universe mode, at least for the time being. So she's out of here. Brie Bella's out of ECW. They both gotten out of their contracts and kind of gone home. So I wish them the best in their future endeavors. We're not going to miss them here. We don't give a crap about the Bellas, the Divas. This is the women's division, and we got strong women like Chyna, Charlotte. Again, Beth Phoenix has made her debut. Natalya, best friends with Beth Phoenix, and it'd be interesting to see those women battling it out to move up these rankings. So they could be best friends all they want, but it's all about that gold here in the Best Damn Universe mode. Number 5, we got Becky Lynch, who hasn't made a splash here yet on Raw's War, but she's hoping to get an opportunity. And let's see what Becky Lynch, the man, has in store for us here on 2K19 in the women's division. Number 6, we have Naomi. And then, more beefing up of the divisions, man. We got number 7, Kairi Sane. And number 8, Dakota Kai. 2 women who have now joined the ranks of WWE. So Vince McMahon making more signings here and beefing up that women's division, man. Not only we got beef here in the men's, but we got beef in tag team. We got beef in the women's division. Beef everywhere, man. Hot dogs, hamburgers, churrasco, whatever the hell you want here in the Best Damn Universe mode. Anyway, that's your women's division right here. Great signings, man. And McMahon says that he's got his eye on another prize fighter as well for WWE. We're going to see, for the women's division, we're going to see who that is in the near future. Anyway, that was your WWE rankings. And speaking of rankings, let's take a quick look at WWE's Power Rankings. Okay, let's quickly go over here the Power Rankings. I already let you guys know what I thought about it during the ECW one, so let's not waste any time. Let's get back into this. Give me your feedback down in the comments, what you think about these rankings as well. And if you want me to even use them or not, I'm still up in the air about it. But we'll do it for the sake of this review show address. And number 1, of course, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns. Number 2, we got The Undertaker, the number 1 contender who will battle Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank. Number 3, the People's King, The Rock. Number 4, Bret the Hitman Hart, the Intercontinental Champion. And at number 5, the number 1 contender for the Intercontinental title, the man that was in the finals of the King of the Ring, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. So that's your top 5 here in the Power Rankings. Then we got the WWE Women's Champion Trish Stratus at number 6, followed by Kofi Kingston, Big E, and Xavier Woods, the WWE World Tag Team Champions. Rounding off at number 10, moving up to the top 10 after that glorious performance on Raw's War, is Bobby Roode. At 11, Seth Rollins, the first ever WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and he's already punched his ticket to Money in the Bank. He's looking to win that and reclaim his championship, as he says. Number 12, we have Chyna. She has looked very impressive, man. She is the #1 contender along with Charlotte for that title, but she defeated Charlotte in a street fight, so she is ahead of her right here at number 12. Number 13, we have the Ultimate Warrior, the former #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship, and boy, does he have some trouble with Sting right now. He got beat up real bad on Raw. We don't know the condition of the Ultimate Warrior yet and when he'll be back. He was severely beaten with that bat and put in that sharpshooter for a long time. And the Ultimate Warrior, well, he asked for Sting on Raw. He definitely got him. There you see Charlotte Flair, the other #1 contender, along with Chyna, who will battle Trish at Money in the Bank. She comes in at number 14. Number 15, Mr. Drew McIntyre, who's defeated Randy Orton on several occasions. And will he do it again at Money in the Bank? We will find out. Number 16, the Lunatic, Dean Ambrose. Cracking here, man, up in the top 20. 16. Good spot for Dean Ambrose after not getting it done at King of the Ring, but he qualified for that tournament, and he's been on the thorn on the side of the Heenan family. Bobby Heenan cost him a couple matches early on here in the Best Damn Universe mode, but Dean Ambrose has totally turned it around and has gotten the best of the Heenan family. The Big Boss Man, he's put him out, and then he's put out Rude and Mr. Perfect as well. So Bobby Heenan promising a giant surprise for Dean Ambrose for continuing to F with the Heenan family. Let's see what the future has in store for them. Dean Ambrose wants that Money in the Bank. That's what's in the store for him, as he has qualified. But he's going to have to take out his brother as well, Seth Rollins. So it'll be very interesting to the future of Dean Ambrose here in the Best Damn Universe. Well, let's see what's going on. Speaking of future, about Triple H, man, the beating that he laid upon the Rock at Raw, the last Raw is War, man. He did not take kindly to not being King of the Ring and seeing The Rock parade himself around with that belt and waited like an opportunist. The cerebral assassin waited till a wounded Rock was put out by Rikishi and came to pick up the bones. And well, just threw the belt down, said, I'm the only king here on Raw's War. What's going to happen between those two? Number 18, we talked about him, Sting, man. There you see the new look. This isn't the Vigilante Sting. This isn't the fun-loving Sting from the early NWA days. This is a different Sting, man. He's not out here fighting any just war, fighting against any invaders as he was when he was the Crow Sting, the Vigilante Sting. This is a different, meaner, just sadistic Sting, man, that we're seeing, and he's in it for himself. So it's going to be interesting moving forward what we see from the Stinger here. He's taking out the Ultimate Warrior. Let's see what Sting has in the cards for him here in WWE. At number 19, we got Kevin Owens, who's going to look to qualify for Money in the Bank on the upcoming Raw's War. At number 20, we have Jimmy Uso. Then actually Jay should be here with him. There you go. Trying to fix that up. Jimmy and Jay Uso. Remember, this is live. Jimmy and Jay Uso, 20 and 21. We have Randy Orton at number 22. Rikishi made a big splash against The Rock here in his debut on the Best Damn Universe mode. He's at number 23, with Beth Phoenix and Natalya rounding off the top 25. And I always like to look at the guy on the outside looking in, or the gal on the outside looking in. Well, we saw it was Ty Dillinger, and for different reasons, though, John Cena's on the outside looking in, and just Ty Dillinger in ECW is probably excited to be in the 26 man. He's on the cusp to be in the top 25, but John Cena, same spot, but he can't be happy about that, man. He wants to be contending for that world title, and he has slipped out of the top 25 with the losses. And I mean, what's the future hold for John Cena here on WWE? We're going to find out. Anyway, those are your power rankings, and that's WWE here. The WWE brand that's competing very heavily against ECW for the top spot here in the Best Damn Universe mode. Now let's take a look at WCW. And we're going to get to all the news of WCW Monday Nitro, but first, let's take a special look at the Japan Super Show. And here we go. We're going to finish off this review with WCW. And well, they're the ones trying to battle from in the ratings war. They're trying to battle their way up, man. As we've talked about it, ECW has been kicking ass. Raw and WWE right there, right behind them, or right neck to neck with ECW right now. But WCW and Shane McMahon, they need to do something to climb up the rankings. Although, I mean, I thought from the highlights that you guys saw, I mean, if you saw Japan Super Show, that was the last pay-per-view for WCW. It was not a bad show, man. We had some great collaboration there between WCW and New Japan Pro Wrestling, as we saw Stone Cold Steve Austin against Okada, and we saw the Macho Man Randy Savage and Kenny Omega, who, well, Shane McMahon could have really used Kenny Omega here in WCW. He tried to get him. We were hearing there were a lot of talks between WCW and Kenny after that Japan Super Show, but Paul Heyman pulled the strings with that anonymous financial backer, and I guess they gave Kenny Omega all the money and opportunities that he wants, and he's now in ECW. So what has WCW done here? We're going to see they brought in some new beef as well. We talked about beef. They brought in some new beef. We're going to see that in the rankings. But first, take a look at the calendar here. The next upcoming pay-per-view, which is this week. We're going to start with WCW Monday Nitro. Then we're going to have Raw ECW. And we're WrestlePalooza just happened. Our next pay-per-view is going to be the Great American Bash. And let's see how successful it can be. Just like King of the Ring turned things around for WWE, Great American Bash could be, and it's lining up to be a great show. It could be that show to get WCW over that hump and looking better in the ratings. And here we go, the rivalries, and that's going to be the big match, Stone Cold Steve Austin against Finn Balor for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. We saw Finn Balor winning with the Bullet Club, that 6-man tag team and main event at Japan Super Show against the Click. That secured him a WCW World Heavyweight Championship shot. He's cashing in at the Great American Bash, and that should be awesome, man. Another big rivalry, Goldberg and Bray Wyatt. They've been back and forth. They had that street fight at Japan Super Show. They had that street fight, and now they're going to continue their war going into the Great American Bash inside a steel cage, looking to settle the score there. Will that be the end of this feud? Bray Wyatt and Goldberg. We've seen some freaky crap between those two. Anyway, another big-time rivalry here, the WCW United States Championship. It will be decided. Macho Man Randy Savage will defend against Eddie Guerrero at the Great American Bash. Those two gone back and forth, man. Macho Man Randy Savage calling out Eddie Guerrero and his machismo before the Japan Super Show. Guerrero came out, responded, put his title on the line, and Macho Man beat him for the title on Nitro right before the Japan Super Show, took Eddie Guerrero's spot, and Eddie has been pissed ever since, man. And Eddie Guerrero took it out. We saw the last episode of WCW Monday Nitro. He took it out on Macho Man. We don't know the condition of Macho Man. A lot of injuries, a lot of destructive beatings here, man. We talked about the Warrior and Sting, but Eddie Guerrero, man, laid it on Macho Man Randy Savage, throwing him off the stage, hitting him with the belt. I mean, it was nasty, but we're told that Macho Man should be hopefully ready to go for the Great American Bash. What condition is he going to be in? Will Eddie Guerrero be able to capture that title back? So anyway, those are kind of the things that are going on now in WCW, the big rivalries. Of course, the Click, Shawn Michaels making his return last week after being out since the Japan Super Show when they lost. Made a big splash last week against Finn Balor. I mean, he came in, interfered in the match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and AJ Styles in their main event, and Shawn Michaels costing AJ Styles that match big time, super kicking both him and Finn Balor. So that rivalry between the Bullet Club and the Click, a long way from being over. Now let's jump in quickly here to the rankings to wrap up this review show here in the address. I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing my voice, and so am I. So let's get on with this. And here we go. We'll start off with the WCW World Championship Division. And there's your champion, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's held that title since defeating CM Punk at Slammiversary. He's defended it against him, has beaten Okada, and now he's on to his next challenge, Finn Balor at the Great American Bash. Let's take a look at the rankings. And here we go. The WCW World Heavyweight Championship Rankings. number one contender, clear cut, Finn Balor, man, as he's facing again Stone Cold Steve Austin for that championship of the Great American Bash. Number 2, we got Goldberg. He's been on nothing but a roll, man. He has not lost here. He's won tag team matches. He's beaten Bray Wyatt. He's beaten Kurt Angle. He feels like he deserves a title shot. We're going to see what happens after Great American Bash. He's got to get through Bray Wyatt. At number 3, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Number 4, AJ Styles coming in, making a big splash right away, defeating the owner of WCW and Shane McMahon, and then taking it to Stone Cold Steve Austin before losing to him thanks to the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, with that super kick. Anyway, number 5, we got Bray Wyatt. Number 6, Kurt Angle, who we haven't seen in a little bit, but I heard he's making an appearance, spoiler, on WCW Monday Nitro coming up. Number 7, who came over via a trade, The Big Show, is in the title picture here at number 7. And look who's at number 8. We talked about new signees. Well, Shane McMahon has not stayed behind, man. We saw Kenny Omega going to ECW from Japan. We seen Okada going to WWE from Japan. Well, Shane McMahon says, you know what? Let me grab Shinsuke Nakamura, who defeated Ric Flair at the Japan Super Show. So, well, not a total loss for Shane McMahon. He wanted Kenny Omega. He actually wanted both of them. He wanted to sign both these talent. He was looking at also Okada. So he wanted to take all those Japan talent. But at least he didn't miss out, man. And he got a big-time talent in Shinsuke Nakamura, who's here in WCW and officially in the WCW World Heavyweight Championship rankings. Big time there, sign E, man. And now let's take a look at the next division. And here we go, the United States Heavyweight Champion of the World. Here I go. How could he be United States and Heavyweight Champion of the World? Whatever, man. Don't pay attention. It's been a long address. I'm a little tired. I don't have a script. I don't have a teleprompter in front of me. Anyway, Macho Man Randy Savage, your United States Champion here at WCW. Let's take a look at the rankings behind him. And here we go. Of course, you've seen it. They're going to battle at Great American Bash. Eddie Guerrero, number 1 contender for the United States Championship. Right behind him, though, we've seen Daniel Bryan at number 2, and then Sami Zayn, number 3. Both those guys with big wins on Nitro over the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. And number 4, we got the former United States Heavyweight Champion, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. At number 5, Dolph Ziggler, who has been on a losing streak since ECW days, but he had a great showing last time on Nitro. So let's see if he could get some wins and move up the rankings. Number 6, Lex Luger, who came over via trade. Talk about United States Championship, man. You got to talk about Lex Luger. He was a great United States Champion back in the day in WCW, NWA days. And here we go. Talk about more beef. We love beef here in the Best Damn Universe mode, and we're going to get all kinds of beef, man. Dark meat, light meat, and we got Booker T coming in, man. King Booker making his way back to WCW, and he's here in the United States Championship division. And at number 8, we got Rusev, baby. A lot of beef there as well. Bulgarian beef added to your United States Championship division. Let's move on. And here we go. The tag team champions, the Bullet Club. They just won the titles back, man. They were the first ever WCW World Tag Team Champions before losing it to Sabisco and Anderson. They've won it back on Nitro after winning their shot in that big 6-man match at Japan Super Show, winning the title shot. They got it. They're the champions again. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Let's take a look at the rankings. And here we go. Right now, well, sitting up there, we don't have a clear-cut number 1 contender. And a little spoiler here, man, before the WCW show. Why not? Another match signed for the Great American Bash. It's going to be Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows versus The Click, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash in a non-title match. But if The Click gets to beat him, if The Click beats Bullet Club in a non-title match, the Outsiders, The Click, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash will get a future WCW World Tag Team Championship match. That's going to be a big grudge match, but with a nice stipulation there, a nice prize at the end if The Click can defeat them. And well, if the Bullet Club can beat them, they don't have to worry about The Click for a while. Then they'll get them out of their hair. But there's a lot of other teams here in WCW, man, looking for them. We got the Road Warriors at number 2 and the Bar at number 3. Those two teams will do battle as well in a street fight at the Great American Bash. That's going to be great, man, after Cesaro Just a vicious attack in their first tag team match they had on Nitro. Vicious attack on Paul Ellering, the manager of the Road Warriors. We wish him well in his recovery. Again, more injuries, more destruction here in the Best Damn Universe mode. Number 4, we got DIY, who made a big splash coming in via the trade. They had the Wyatt family rocked and beat, and well, they got a little pissed off as Goldberg cost them that match. And then last week, a little revenge as they abandoned Goldberg and fed him to the wolves. Made it 3-on-1 against the Wyatt family as they walked out on Goldberg on Nitro. What's the future hold for DIY? Very talented guys, man. Can they continue to climb up this tag team division? Number 5, the Hardy Boys, who were in the finals of the WCW tournament, the tag team tournament. We have not seen him ever since. They were a little disgruntled. We heard that there was issues there, but are they going to be able to come back strong? We're going to find out. They're still in this thing. They're still signed here on WCW. Number 6, the Wyatt family. Been looking to move up the rankings, but they can't quite get a victory here. Number 7, the Rock and Roll Express. They had their shot at the tag team titles at the Japan Super Show. Have now been officially signed by WCW. And then number 8, we got American Alpha, who we saw early on the Best Damn Universe mode, but have not seen him since. Can they climb up? They have a long way to go, but can they climb up the rankings here? Anyway, there you go. That's your tag team championship division. Let's go to the next one. And here is the Women's Championship, WCW Women's Championship division. The champion is Paige. She's coming off successful title defenses in Japan, both at the Japan Super Show and then on Nitro, and she's defeated Alundra Blaze. She's waiting for her next competition. Let's take a look at the rankings. And here we go. Here are the rankings for them. And we see Sasha Banks and Bayley on top. They have been the women that have been the most impressive, but there's no clear-cut number 1 contender yet. At number 3, we have Alundra Blaze, followed by Alexa Bliss. Number 5, Tamina. And then look at this. New signees, man. Shane McMahon, after losing some women here to, well, retirement, and Brie Bella, temporary retirement or permanent, I don't know, but retirement and Brie Bella, and via trade to ECW's lost some women as well, so he had to revamp this division, and 3 big signees. He's got the Iconics, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, and then look at this one, man, big time, Ember Moon, big time signee, and Shane says he's got a lot more women coming as well. So Paige is going to have her hands full in this women's division. Let's take a look at the cruiserweights. And here it is, man. And I love WWE 2K19 for this, man. I don't just get limited to 4 slots. I could have 5. I could have 6. We could add the WCW television title as well and bring that back. So, or WWE, we're going to have Money in the Bank. That's going to be one of the slots as well. So this is great, man. I love this. I love this thing. And here we go, the men's, the WCW Cruiserweight Champion of the World. And I can say now the world, because the Cruiserweight Champion of the World is the king of the Cruiserweights, Bullet Club's own Neville. And let's see who's Neville's ranking, see who Neville's opponents are, or... Anyway, I don't even know what the hell I'm saying, but let's go to the rankings. Jesus Christ. Alright, and here we go, man. We need to end this thing because I'm running out of breath. I'm just, talking too much. I'm sure I'm probably boring you guys. Anyway, I love to do this, man. I just like to do these reviews, just to put everything in perspective, man. Go over the rankings and everything, and maybe I'll start just including some of these, or have a weekly or monthly. Well, I think I'm gonna stick with monthly, man. After we get through all the pay-per-view stuff, I might do that. I might wait to get through all the pay-per-views and then just review the month and go from there. That's what I'm gonna start doing from now on. I think if you have any other ideas, let me know. Anyway. Finish it off here, man. WCW Cruiserweight Championship Division. Number 1 contender, Dean Malenko, the former champion. Number 2, we got Kalisto. At number 3, Hideo Itami. Followed by Pete Dunne at number 4. Number 5, Cedric Alexander. Number 6, Sin Cara. Number 7, Tyler Bate. And number 8, Leo Rush. And as you can see, Shane McMahon has signed a lot of new cruiserweights, and he says, you know what, these are only the top 8, but he's got plenty of other cruiserweights who he has already either signed or is in the process of signing. So this is going to be an exciting division moving forward for a long time, man. So there you go. It's new signees like Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate and Leo Rush. This is going to be awesome, man. Along with the likes of Hideo Itami, the likes of Kalisto, Cedric Alexander. This is going to be a tremendous division here. And Neville, can he maintain that championship, man? We're going to find out. So that'll wrap it up. Let's take a quick look at the power rankings of WCW, and we'll wrap this thing up, man. Thanks for staying with me for this entire address. I hope it was more entertaining than the Donald Trump presidential address. And here we go, the final power rankings here for WCW Monday Nitro. Let's take a look. Stone Cold Steve Austin, of course, the man here in WCW, the World Heavyweight Champion at number 1. Number 2, we got Finn Balor, the number 1 contender, the man who's been on fire here in WCW. Number 3, Goldberg, who's also been on a great streak here in WCW. He hasn't lost a match yet. Number 4, the United States Champion, Macho Man Randy Savage. And at number 5, his number 1 contender, Eddie Guerrero. So that's your top 5 here in WCW. Number 6, we got Luke Gallows. And 7, Carl Anderson, the tag team champions of the world. Number 8, the women's champion, Paige. Number 9, AJ Styles, making a big splash here via trade to WCW. Number 10, the Cruiserweight champion of the world, Neville. Number 11, we got Daniel Bryan, followed by number 12, Sami Zayn. Both guys, big players in the United States Championship division, looking to be the next number 1 contender there. Number 13, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, followed by his buddies, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall of the Clique. At number 16, we got Bray Wyatt, followed by his brothers, Luke Harper, Eric Rowan of the Wyatt family. Number 19, the number 1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship, Dean Malenko. At number 20, we got Cesaro. 21, we got Sheamus, The Bar. Number 22 and 23, Hawk and Animal of the Legion of Doom. Both those team big-time players looking to move up and get in the next title shot here. If the Clique fails at the Great American Bash, one of these two teams might be the next number 1 contender. They're in line for that. Number 24, Kurt Angle, who we haven't seen in a little bit. And that nice outfit he's got on, huh? Beautiful American Eagle. And number 25, to round it off, is Arn Anderson, the former WCW World Heavyweight Champion, WCW World Tag Team Champion, along with Larry Sabisco. Just lost the title, so he's round off at 25. What's the future hold for Arn Anderson? We saw him leave. He was pissed off at the whole situation. Ric Flair, speaking of Ric Flair, he's on the outside looking in, man, at number 26. He's fallen off, not only of his rocker, but of the top 25. What the future holds for Ric Flair, we're going to have a big update. You got to catch it on WCW Nitro on the health of Larry Sabisco and on the mental health and status here in WCW of the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Oh, and there's only one thing left to say after this grueling marathon here on the state of the best damn universe mode. And that's, God bless them. And no, it's not. It's thank you all for being subscribers. And those of you who are not, subscribe, hit that like button, hit that bell for notifications. And thank you once again for joining me here on the best damn universe mode.